Welcome to today's session of Trade Along Live with Saul, focused on the S&P 500 E-mini. In this service, you'll see three charts in a separate chart window. Saul will be joining us shortly. It's going to give out this morning's proprietary scalping levels. These are the areas of interest for this morning's trade for Saul. Starts out with a pivot and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot. Be prepared to write them down. Be prepared to pay attention to what happens based on price movement in and around these levels. These are the roadmap and discipline for this morning's trade. Everything we do is for educational purposes only. Nothing to be taken as direct trading or investment advice. There's a couple opportunities here. One is to be part of this trade along on a daily basis. It's fee-based. It's inexpensive compared to the results, in our humble opinion. Usually $3.99 a month. Right now it's on for $150. Don't know if we're going to have it next week. So if you're on the fence, hop off the fence. One of the things we have is a bot that will exit you. So if you get exited, you end up going into limbo, and then you can't come back in. So make sure you don't end up getting exited. It's a nominal price. It's our humble opinion that from an educational point of view, it's extremely valuable to be here, and it's an opportunity for you to step away from your computer after the morning session having banked a profit based on this educational opportunity and what goes on here on a daily basis. Saul is your host. He's a 25-year veteran trader of the trading pits in Chicago. He is actively scalping. He is utilizing a price action trading technique. He's available to teach individual traders, a select group of traders, his trading methodology. So if you're interested, step up and let us know. He only takes a few students at a time. So if it's something that you're interested in, make sure you lock it in. And we appreciate you being here. If you like what we're doing, tell your friends. If you're coming in and you want to come in here or you want to tell your friends to come in here, it's tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. So I'll be in the background if you need me. I'll send out that opportunity to sign up and have a profitable trading day. Hey, Christoph, hate to do this to you again, buddy, but you got to pony up. You know what I mean? Hey, Dean, how are you? Hey, Glenn. N, let me know if you signed up, Glenn. I'll send it out to everybody. Johnny Z, how are you? Ruben, Felipe, let me know. Hey, Richard, Sarah, and Mark. Hey, let's make this your last day. If you're not signed up by the end of the day, then I don't want you to get caught up with the bot. That would be bad because then you'd be out for a while. And it's nominal, so make sure you get yourself done. I'll send it out to everybody now.
All right, good morning, everyone. Let's give you our levels for this morning. Our pivot this morning is 43.80, 43.80. Resistance at 94 now. And then 44.05, 12, and then 23. Support below at second at 72, 64, 52, and 44. Pivot 80, support 72, 64, 52, 44. Resistance on the upside at 94, 44.05, 12, and 23. All right. Market here, a little bit of a comeback here after that big rotation. Yesterday's rally. And the market coming back down here a little bit. Taking some profits, I guess. We'll see what it wants to do today. Welcome to some of the new folks that are here. We are trading mini S&Ps. We're looking for opportunities to scalp the market with the levels that we just gave out, in addition to price action opportunities that occur once the market paints some bars. The combination of both of those gives us our opportunities to scalp. And we're looking at about 4 or 5 points on our scalp. But again, nothing here is etched in stone. We can definitely adjust those based on the activity of the day and the activity of the moment, right? I mean, sometimes it's easier. The price action dictates what we're going to do as far as our stops are concerned, and our entry points, our exit strategies are concerned. Nothing here is etched in stone, which is those are guidelines to the day, and then you have to let the market kind of give us the rest of the way. All right. We zoomed up here quickly up to right around the 90 area, 91 area. So we had 94 as our next level of resistance up here. So see what happens when we get up there. Again, keep your stops in place. We are definitely, we want to make sure we don't get run out of any one trade. It's not what we're trying to do here. Keep your stop in place and always look for the next opportunity. We definitely have plenty of ample opportunities these days with the volatility in the market, the way it's been going, especially, with the geopolitical situation still going on, it continues to go on. Doesn't seem like it's going to gear down anytime soon. So looks like it is what it is. And until that's settled, you're going to have some volatility in these markets. Even then we're going to have to deal with interest rates, and that's that, right? So there's always something. All right, market coming off here a little bit. They're opening up and flashing up to the 92, 91 area. Coming back down here to pivot area at around the 80 area. See what it wants to do. Support is down at 72. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Then if you look at the chat box, you'll see the levels that we have that we gave out this morning. They're in there. All right, market bouncing off of our pivot area there. If we were a little aggressive. Again, there are many modes of entry points for different kinds of risk tolerances that everybody has here. We put together a trading methodology that allows us to take advantage of these ebbs and flows based on the price action. And if anybody's interested in learning how to the ideas and concepts that we offer here, please let us know. The objective of our education course is for you to be able to find these areas on your own, understand why they work, and have logical reasons into entering your trades. So that's what we do here on an everyday basis. In addition to this trading room, we do offer the education course, like I said. So, all right. Bouncing off of our pivot there, coming up here now to the, I wish I could have told you it was going to be so good. To the our 94 area here. Just be a little bit careful and make sure you keep your stops in place, right? Keep saying that all the time because it's a very important concept that we have to recognize and trade with, especially when you're trading futures, any commodity, I should say. Again, the market's giving you a choice here as to how you want to trade the level. If you are trading multiple contracts, if you got in at the upper end, the lower end, depending on what your goals are and what your risk tolerances are. All right, everybody here has different risk tolerances. All right, getting a little bit of a rotation here against our 94 area. All right. Nice little trade there if you jumped in and giving us 3 points right now, but trying to give us our 4 points. And then again, if you got it on the upper end there, you're definitely taking out some profits along the way here. Again, we did bounce nicely off of our pivot and then bounce right quickly up here to the 94 area, and we're getting a nice little rotation against our 94 area. Got up to 7, but hopefully, again, if we're sticking with our stops, you should be okay. And we get our 4 points right now. So nice little trade there if you did jump in. And if you did buy the pivot area there as well, you did all right this morning so far. Those are the 2 little trades that we've had at the levels. Again, not everybody has to take the trades that we talk about. It all depends on your risk tolerance. Everybody here trades a little bit differently. You have to understand your risk tolerance as an individual and trade it accordingly. All right, nice little trade there. If you did jump in, if you want to try to stay short, just have a trailing stop and see what you could do yesterday. We did have a nice trade where we were able to get in. We had a stop of about 2 or 3 points, and we suggested that maybe you can take at least maybe 15 points or so off the trade, and it worked out very nicely if you kept your stop in place and put a profit target. And again, this is a way of being able to take more than 4 or 5 points on a trade. All depends again on your risk tolerance. Obviously, you're taking some profits along the way as well. You're not just holding it for a 15-point drop. We suggested that maybe extra contracts left after you took your profits to stay the course with a couple or however many you chose to put on and try to take a little bit more out of the trade. And that's what happened. Again, you could do the same thing here. Have a little trailing stop here right now, especially since we're early on in the morning, and see if we can take a little bit more than 4 or 5 points as you're getting paid off here very nicely against that level that we talked about. If you're trading multiple contracts and can scale out. All right. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. We don't mind questions. All right. So now we, again, if you are having a trailing stop, maybe you're flat now. If you have a 3 or 4 point trailing stop on the trade, And I'll just wait and see what happens. The next support level on the downside we have is down at the 72. We already traded the 80 area one time. Again, I'm not saying it's not going to work again. I'm just saying that it's a little riskier to trade that 80 area again. Looking to buy it. So again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. We don't mind questions. Hey, Don, you around? You want to jump in here with me? It's Friday after all.
I think I'm happy just being quiet.
Okay.
No.
Well, we did bounce off of our upper level very nicely there, and just kind of hanging out now. Very, very quiet overnight. You can see they definitely, these rally markets do take a lot of the volatility out of the market. I don't know why, but it seems to always do that. What is the VIX right now?
Let's see. 2567.
Mm-hmm. So mid 25s is good, calm, yet volatile opportunities. It doesn't run away from us, gives us a chance to work a trade, work a level, and gives you at least some good opportunities there that are not as risky as some of those crazy wild moves that we've been getting lately. So the VIX was up in the 30s not too long ago. Sure. The three charts that you see on the screen from right to left, the 5-minute mini S&P chart. In the middle is an hourly mini S&P chart, and on the left is a 30-year bond chart. We use the S&Ps, the 5-minute and the hourly for opportunities there. Price action opportunities in addition to how we can find our levels based on both the charts. We also use hourly charts and monthly charts as well, weekly charts, but we don't show those up. And the bond chart there is kind of maybe sometimes helps us with maybe bias in our market. Sometimes we do get a correlation between bonds and S&Ps. Sometimes yes, sometimes not. But besides that, I traded in the bond pit, and I like to have the bonds up there just for that sake alone. No other reason. But sometimes we do get a correlation between bonds and S&Ps, inverse or not. So those are the three charts that we have up there: 5-minute ES, the hourly ES, and the 30-year bond. We're also trading futures, a equity future based on the S&P 500. And we're looking for if futures trading is something that you might want to do or interested in learning about, you're in the right place. All right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you can see by the disinformation that he is suggesting to his, as you put it, countrymen. I mean, at some point, they've lost a lot of. Well, I would assume they've lost a lot of men during this operation. I don't think he would lose a lot of men during an operation, but that's the information he gives them, and that's the only information they have. it is what it is. See what happens. That's not the problem right now, is what he tells his countrymen. The problem is how China is going to react, and if they're going to give him any help, because he is hurting. He's asking for Syrian people to come and help him. I mean, he's really scraping for any kind of help he can find. We do have a couple of numbers coming out. 9 o'clock, we have existing home sales and leading indicators. So maybe a couple numbers here at the top of the hour might inject some volatility into the market, at least when they initially come out. So we'll be mindful of that. We already triggered our 94 area here, so we're not going to test that area. Next level we're looking at on the upside is up at 05. So we'll see what happens around that. So we have a couple numbers coming out here, and then there are some Fed speaks at 11:30 and then 1 o'clock. Yeah, again, they can start talking again about their meeting, but basically their meeting was, and their results from the meeting was already out. So we'll see what happens. So a couple numbers to contend with at the top of the hour. Next level of resistance we have is up at the 98 area. I'm sorry, 45. We already 4405. I don't know where that 98 came from. What does we just as far as on the charts are concerned, we're just mainly focused with it's a Bollinger Band. The blue band is a Bollinger Band. The green band is a 200 moving average. So, and the red bands are just the outer bands of the Bollinger Band, which we really don't focus on so much, but. The blue band is a Bollinger Band, and the green band is a 200 average. All right, so on the heels of the Fed's announcement this week and the continuation of the war, we are making these these renewed highs here. So market has priced in, rate hikes. They've priced in war accommodations. Cost of this war, then at least for the time being, it could be a lot worse depending on if China gets involved and we start to retaliate against them. The word there is that they had China and Biden had XI and Biden had talks this morning, and Biden expressed upon the Chinese leader that there will be consequences of involvement in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Biden made it clear that China will bear responsibility for any actions it takes to support Russia's aggressions, and we will not hesitate to impose costs. As the market continues to uptick, we got a resistance up at the 05 area. And may be reluctant to court an economic battle with the West, though, given problems it's facing domestically that have forced the government to reassure risks markets, not to mention the continued battle with containing COVID. Widely followed JPM strategist wrote in a note yesterday that the economy tails risks from China likely won't materialize. During the Cold War, peace was prevented by virtual mutual assured destruction. For a time being, the current relationship with China may be preserved by the equivalence of economically assured destruction. That's what this guy said. So we'll see how China deals with that. That could be, again, that could be another turning point for the market. Again, we try to bring back everything to how it affects the market. Not that we'd like to take positions one way or the other, but we just want to understand what affects the market that we're trading. All right, so we'll see what happens there with the Chinese. They're always a new wrinkle every day. So it makes trading so entertaining. It's never a dull moment. Well, I have to tell you, sometimes we miss the dull moments because there are a lot of times when trade just goes along. We look at the numbers every morning. Remember those days? You look at the numbers, see what affects the trade the number, look for 4 or 5 trades a day. Now we're getting that in like an hour. We like to average about 4 or 5 trades in the course of a day. Lately, I said we've been averaging a lot more due to the volatility in the market. But it is what it is. You got to jump in there, Don. Don't just leave me hanging sometimes.
I'm waiting. I miss those quick days.
Yeah. We've been very, very busy. Well, we do have a number coming out here in about 6 minutes, so we'll see what that has to offer us or not. You never know when these numbers are going to affect the market. And we like to be flat when the numbers come out. Is this a triple witching day? Maybe.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
I think every Friday for me is triple witching.
It is Friday. What he meant by that is if we can make a little bit of money in the morning and be on our way, that's a good thing for Friday.
I thought for sure they'd peg that 80 again.
Well, they did knock it down to. They did get it down there once.
Yeah.
Triple witching does add to volatility, but it adds to volatility at the end of the day because they're trying to, as the day goes on, they kind of get out of some, but a lot of the volatility because they're kind of trying to match up with the strike price, and this and that happens at the end of the day versus, as the day goes on. So it does add to volatility, but you have to know when it adds to the volatility. So as far as we're concerned, if we can just trade the morning and leave the afternoon stuff to the people who really care to trade the afternoon, that'll be fantastic. So that's what, as far as this triple witching is concerned, that's why I really don't care about it that much. Only because if you are going to be trading late this afternoon towards the end of the day, especially the last hour here, then you're going to be concerned about triple witching. You get some volatility. They're trying to zero out their positions based on the strike price, and you have the volatility sometimes moving towards strike prices. The whole number is like 4,400 or 4,450 or 4,475, somewhere in those ranges. But But that it doesn't really add to volatility early on. So that's why we usually don't really concern myself with it too much, because we like to focus more on the morning hours here for us to have our opportunities to trade versus hanging around till late afternoon. All right, we're just kind of up here. Bonds rallying here a little bit. Look at that. Bonds really are, they kind of are trying to figure out what to do here. Right? I mean, you know, they came out with their statement and they pretty much, I guess, have priced in. Again, the problem with the bond market right now is definitely the, you know, the yield curve. That's what that's the problem with the bond market right now. Yield curve inversion probably means, or at least initially would mean, a recession, right? And at some point we will start being concerned about it. We'll see. It's a little pop here in the bond market, maybe a little short cover rally. I don't know, but definitely a little bit of a pop up here.
Must know something about the news coming out.
Yeah, that could be. You mean they do that? People know?
Nah, they wouldn't do that.
People know what's going on. As a matter of fact, we do have a number coming out here in about a minute. So we like to be flat when those numbers are released. And that obviously doesn't change just because. So we are going to be flat right now, even though I really don't believe that these numbers, with everything going on around us, is going to create much of a move here. But you never know. Just never know. Well, obviously, it's somebody knows. Somebody knows something. All right, number in about momentarily coming out here. So obviously there is a leak. Who? What leak? What are you talking about? Somebody's leaking this thing. No doubt about it, especially since bonds are rotating up here too also. We'll see. Anyway, number will be out here momentarily. See how the market reacts. We got be careful here at 05, especially on the heels of a number. All right, numbers are out.
Come on.
And then went retested that 99 area there and came off. And we got support at the next resistance area is up at 05. All right, quickly coming up here. And if you're a little bit nervous about trading the results of a number, this is why you just be patient and wait for the after effect. Obviously, somebody did know something about this number. That's why we're rotating up here. Now, do you aggressively traded before the number? Absolutely not. Just because they might have gave it doesn't mean you have to trade it. But we've got 05 now. That's what we're looking for. See what it wants to do if it gets up there, and then we'll trade that volatility when it gets up there. If it gets up there, I should say.
Let's see where 6.
All right, market continues to uptick here a little bit.
Surprised they didn't take it to 94.
I'm surprised they didn't get 04 at least.
Yeah, I was.
I mean, come on. Jeez. You know, that's just annoying. That is just annoying. Well, we're still on the same bar, so maybe. I mean, at least get me to 04, get me filled. Gets up to 3.5. How am I doing? All right, well, make a little bit of an adjustment up here. All right, now we're getting up here to 04. And we're looking at the 05 area as our next level of resistance.
I'll take 04 to 94. '06 would be better.
You got the 06. All right. Again, you're hitting those stops coming up here. Making sure you keep your stop in place for sure. All right, coming off here, coming back here to the 05, giving you a choice here as to what you want to do. Lighten the load if you don't like the price action. Okay, this is one of these trades where we have to work a little.
That 6 should have bounced it better than that.
Again, you are given a choice here to scratch some if you don't like the volatility around this level. So I guess the market's being nice to us in some senses, or at least if you're trading multiple contracts to get out of some. If you don't like the way the market is trading around this area.
At least give us 4,400. Heck, gum.
Yeah, it's being a little stubborn. Doesn't always do what we want it to do. Again, like I said, though, you had a chance there to scratch some, so you're keeping your minimal amount here in case we get up to above there. Anything above 9, you want to be out of any shorts. I would say 10.
You didn't like that 12 from yesterday?
It didn't get up to 12 yesterday.
I said you didn't like it though, still.
Oh, yeah. It happened right on the close too. So it was just a reaction to the market right on the close. All right, kind of again giving you a chance here to work this level. We said above 10, you want to be out of any shorts here, and I got up to 9.5 there. And we're looking at 12 as the next level of resistance up here. Again, market is giving you a chance here to, if you don't like the price action, to exit. If you are just kind of just looking at the next level of resistance up here is the 12. Okay, quickly come up here to the 12 area. Again, we suggested getting out of some of these contracts, especially if it was trading around that 5. Didn't like the price action there.
You're going to give us something above 23.
Kind of doing the same thing here with this 12, same thing. Not making it easy today. No, there's nothing easy, right? But just makes work today a little harder.
You have some numbers above 23.
Yep. It's pretty amazing that we're back up here, actually. Okay, again, you're given a chance here to decide what you want to do with the 12 area, 23.
Let's go 4,400. Let's pop it down there.
Amazing how high we're up here. All right, so again, working this the 12 area again. It's giving you again a chance to scratch some of them. If you don't like the price action, nothing here tells you have to stay in a trade until you get stopped out. Right? That's not what we're saying here. If you don't like the price action, you are definitely given a choice here to scratch, to get out of some, maybe take a smaller profit. Just because we're not enjoying the price action. And again, you don't have to stay in a trade just because you have to get stopped. It doesn't work that way. The market's been nice enough to at least giving us a chance to scratch some of these trades because again, we have these rally markets. Rally markets are not the most favorable markets for us. We don't like rally markets. It's not our favorite. But if you get out and work the trade, again, giving you another chance here to work the area, coming back here to giving you a scratch opportunity. So take a little bit of a profit, pay for your commissions. If you want to stick with it, but it's your choice, all right? So let me give you the levels here above 23. We've got 32, 44, 52, 64, and 74. I don't know which way. I guess it could continue to go up. Who knows? All right. So again, it's giving us a little bit of a profit here. If you don't like the risk, you didn't get stopped out. Definitely giving you a chance here to get out for. Again, you don't have to wait for your stop or profit target. Especially since we don't like the price action, you have choices. Again, it'd be easier if it just bounced off of a level and gave us our quick profit, but sometimes it doesn't do that for us every time. All right, work in this area here if you still have them. Again, giving you a little bit of rotation down. I'd have a trailing stop if you still have any left over. Or if you're flat, that's fine. Support right now would be around the 90 area. If you look at the chat box, we have the extra levels that we added on. Again, we're not trying to pick and choose which way the markets are going. We are just trading ebbs and flows. If I knew the market was going to go up, I would have told you get long, stay long, and be done with it. But I don't think anybody could have told me, but it's all right. Not our job to figure out which way the markets are going.
We just wanted to go to our targets. How's that sound?
We just wanted to bounce around. Yes, that's all we can do. Sometimes it bounces around a lot easier than other times. That's all I can say. I wish I could tell you.
44.
That's right. Don wants 4,400. All right. Again, if you happen to stay short there, they get up to 16 and did rotate back down to scratch area. Suggested scratching some. I suggested scratch some before one of the 16. But if you kept on with it, then you're getting paid off here. But when you lessen your risk, let's say you scratch a couple contracts, you trade it a little bit differently than if you had your full range of, whatever many contracts you're trading. So gives you the ability to maybe stay short and keep your stop in place on the upside. And it just makes it a little bit easier to stay with a trade as long as we can lighten the load a little. And only because we don't only lighten the load because of the price action, not because we are making new highs. It's not reacting well to the level that we gave out. So we make adjustments as traders. That's what our job is. Kind of the bond market gave it away, didn't they? With that little rally before the number.
I thought so. I was getting short. I said they know something.
Oh, the bond market kind of gave it away there. Bond market's coming off and we're coming off. Doesn't usually trade in unison, that's for sure. Sometimes we get those correlations and sometimes we don't. Somebody asked about why do we have a bond chart up there or what that bond chart is.
I like the way it gets right down to just about where it's supposed to go. Then it'll reverse back up.
Just to tease you a little.
Get out, get out, get out. Then it goes down there.
Right. It's amazing, right? Happens all the time. It's frustrating sometimes.
I said, well, I'm going to get out at 41 because I know it's going to back up. It only went to 41 and a quarter.
Right. Amazing. All right. Just kind of bouncing around the settlement price here at 02. That's where the settlement price is, and that's where it's finding its little bouncing back around it. And I don't know what it's to, but definitely came off, got up to spike high there at the 16, was it? Yeah. And came off really quickly. Yeah, I am. That was a pretty big surprise there. But you know what? When a team like that gets taken out, like a number two school, as far as your brackets are concerned, unless you have them going all the way to the end, doesn't really hurt anybody. Everybody has them going past this first round. So I mean, it's surprising, but it's not at the same time. I mean, as far as, oh wow, it was a big upset, no doubt. I mean, a small little school, uh, New Jersey. You say it's kind of nice because that's why you got to play the games, right? At the end of the day, that's why you got to play the games. So the Peacocks beat the big Kentucky. Kentucky was always on and off this whole year anyway. They were never. I mean, I think their name gave them a number two position, but they were not playing that great all season. My opinion. All right, again, we're bouncing here. Again, we did have a nice rotation there against our 12. If you had a finger stop there, it just snuck up to 14, 16 there and come right back down. Suggested scratching some of them. If you stuck with it, then you did okay. Because it came all the way back down here to the settlement price there at 02, got a little bit below that, and then bounced back up. So again, our levels have been just off a little bit today, to the point where we're having to make choices when we get to it, and it's Friday.
Is it supposed to get cold at your house again tomorrow and next day?
No, actually, it's supposed to kind of it's cold today. It's cold and rainy today, like 50s and 40s, and then it's supposed to actually get a little on the 60s over the weekend. So hopefully, then it's supposed to get a little bit like average temperatures, which is mid 40s for the rest of the week after that. So we'll see. The weekend's supposed to be nice. How about you? You get tropical weather coming back?
No, we got that front coming across the states, and we're supposed to drop down in the morning, and then it's warm back up in the 70s.
Yeah, well, we're trying to get to those 70s soon.
Yeah. We're 70-degree days, 40-degree nights.
Yeah, well, we're 40-degree days. Chillier at night. Doesn't get freezing though, so it's okay. I mean, relatively speaking, I guess. Not if you live in Florida or Texas.
They've been pushing this market earlier for the last couple of days.
Yeah. I know. And then they kind of yesterday was late afternoon rally.
Yeah.
So
I was getting short in that mess.
Well, finally it did come back.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. They were gonna run it up on the close. Because everybody was short probably, and they're making new highs, and then they did slowly sell it off. So it's a tough trade, the afternoon trade. There's no doubt about it. definitely don't like that afternoon trade for many obvious reasons.
I was sitting in it thinking, oh, this is going to hurt.
Right, I know.
I keep thinking, okay, you can go to 81 now. You can go to 81 now. And it is hung there.
Yeah, it was. It was relentless. When it gets that way, those rally markets are tough for us. So
yeah, my analysis was correct. My timing just sucked pond water.
that's everything. Timing's everything.
This bounce at this 16 area, it didn't give us a whole lot of. Let me look at something here. It didn't get much of a pattern. It just bam and off it came.
Yeah, well, there's a little spike high there. It's a tough little trade right now. The market's a little nervous. They're up here at new highs. I don't know why they think. I think the market's they don't know why they're up here. Julio, you have a great weekend. And so it's trading like it doesn't know what it wants to do.
Well, if that's the case, I'm in sync with it because I don't know what I want to do. So.
Like it's making us get out of our trades, even though they work out, it's making us get out. When you have those kind of days when it makes you get out of the trade and then it goes your way, it's annoying. But at least for the time being, that's what it seems like it's doing.
Yesterday, I guess after about 10 o'clock, up to about 10, the market traded. There was a lot of short scalp trades in there. It had slowed down and it worked real well. And it may work the same way today after 9 or 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
All right. Well, we're just kind of hanging up here. Again, it's Friday, so markets had a busy week, as you can imagine. It's had to deal with the war situation. It's had to deal with the Fed. It's absorbing a lot of information. It's got to decipher. And we're pushing a 44 handle. Like everything's okay. If you look at the bigger picture, that's the amazing part.
It doesn't matter what the news is, the market goes up.
Buying those dips has been like, even in the midst of, huge sell-off. Well, this is the key here. What it does on a weekly chart, if we look at the weekly chart, if we close up here, we have to hold up here next week above the 4,400 level. If we dip back down to the 43, 42, then we get into the same range we've been at for the last month. Since they started talking about raising rates, let alone the war. The war is another, but the war news has traded within the movement of the raising rates move. So even though we've had some volatility because of the war, we've traded within that range of noise about raising rates. Now, if we hold here above this 4,400 area and we decide to go up on a weekly chart, but next week, next Friday, we have to see where we're at. That would become a little bullish sign for the market. But if we drop back down into the range that from 41 to 44, that's a 300-point range. Seems like a lot, but we have covered it. Then we are back to neutral again, and it's just consolidating up down here. So that's if you look at a weekly chart. We shall see what happens.
I know that we should have gotten back to the 12, which we did.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting next week. We get rid of the contract, and
Yeah, now we'll see what happens.
yeah. I can't keep track of what's going on at the end. Like there's just too many moving parts.
At the end, what is that?
Well, like the old contracts expiring, and the new contract,
okay.
and
Okay.
all the options and everything else going on. It's kind of like
Gotcha.
I'm better off just taking the high probability type trades at that point.
Right. Gotcha. What the Don saying is that he's not trading too many price action plays. That's what he's saying.
Especially today.
Yeah.
I was able to get out of that hole there. I still like that 95 down there, though.
Well, the 95 is still a good spot, I think. 90, probably 93. 94, 93 to 95 area.
And I know looking at this chart, we ought to go all the way back to 91. But when's the question, and how? I show signs we ought to get back to 16 and down to 91. So take your pick.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just wait. It's Friday. Let's not get carried away here by what should happen, what shouldn't happen. So let's just, I don't think we got killed today. I mean, we had to work our levels today. So hopefully you're either up a little bit or scratched a little bit. Definitely not in a deep hole or anything like that. And we're definitely not, I mean, unless some of you guys held on to stuff, then you guys did all right. I just happened to scratch a lot of my stuff today. I do listen to myself sometimes.
You better not, him.
I do listen to myself sometimes.
Well, I'm glad I don't have anything going.
Yeah, me too.
Except an opinion. That's it.
Yeah, I'm flat too, and just kind of hanging out here too. I'm not expecting to do much today. At least not now, anyway. I thought it would be nice we were just off a little bit on our levels, but what are you going to do?
Well, there's the 95.
Yeah. Are we? Yeah, we're getting down here. Yeah, like that. All right.
Answers that question. Which one's it going to go to first?
Right. There you go. I didn't even. Yeah, you never know when these moves happen either. All right, there you go. 93 to 95. Of course, I put it in at 94. How am I doing?
Hold on, it's going to get there.
Yeah, well,
Like I say, we should go to 91, but how and when, I don't know.
yeah, right now, yeah. I'm going to adjust it down to 91 and see what happens since I missed a 94 there. How do you like that?
Well, we got the blue band coming up to meet it, so.
Right. It does give you a little confidence. You know that's the adage that holds resistance becomes support, and it all depends on the price action. I wouldn't say that it is 100% that's the case all the time. It depends how the market reacted to that resistance area initially and afterwards, and so there are times where that yes is always true, but then if you're more risk averse, you're looking for other points of contention there to give you that, to say that that is true. So depends on the risk tolerance. It depends on what how you look at the market. But I would say that it's not always the case, but a lot of times it is. But again, if you're more risk averse, there are times where it's a stronger trade, if that's the right terminology, than other times.
Well, it looks like 94 was the number to have.
Yes, it was. Of course, I adjusted it, and look what happened. This is what's happening with me today. I keep adjusting my entry points, and I just keep missing it. I was pissed that I didn't get the 94, so I adjusted it. Of course, that was the place.
We should come back to 94.50.
All right. Well, we did hold the 94. We were talking about holding at 93 to 95 area. Of course, go right down to 94 there. So if you were trading with us, a nice little opportunity there for you. Uh, was it because it was old resistance? Yes, no, but there was other reasons for it to hold that area, and it did. uh, but if you did jump in there, we said the 93 to 95 area was good support. And if you did buy them, then you did a nice rotation up here. Again, and how you scale in, how you enter your trades, it's absolutely up to each individual here. You heard me say what I was doing. I had my orders in there. I just missed it. I adjusted a little bit and I missed it again. But Don was buying them down there. So we had everybody was talking and we kind of did traded our own little way. I was being a little bit more risk averse, but Don was just bottom down there and they had a nice rotation. If you did, not everybody does the same thing, even though we're sharing information with you. We all kind of did it our own little way. And that's why, when somebody asks me, oh, what's your track record? I'm like, how do I answer that? So it's a very tough question when somebody asks like that. It happens every now and then, but we're here to try to, just give you areas, and then how you enter your trades. It all depends on each individual's risk tolerance and how they trade around a certain area. So that's what we try to do here, and we try to explain why there would be some support and resistance areas, and anything we talk about in our that we're talking about, me and Don, we talk about in our education course. We try to explain these areas and why they would be important, why they would hold, and then it's up to you how you manage them and how you trade them.
Sure are making this one hard to hold on to.
Well, it's coming up here against the settlement price here at 02, so the 02's kind of holding it back a little.
Yeah, but we ought to be going back down to that 94.50. At a minimum, at least 98.
Again, if anybody has any questions, please ask in the chat. We're coming down here to the late morning, and so trying to kind of just again market holding support areas, kind of holding resistance areas. Again, depending on how you are entering your trades and exiting your trades, some of you are doing okay, some of you are just scratching, some of you may be losing a little bit, but not, hopefully not too much.
This thing doesn't hurry up and move. I'm impatient.
I know.
Come on. You know you want that 98.
You know, when you start begging, it's not good.
That's true.
I just want you to know you don't sound too good right now begging. Just pointing it out to you.
Well, I have faith that it's going to go there. It's just that I'm ready for it to be out of this trade. You know what? I'm happy. It doesn't have to go to that 94.50. It's close enough.
All right, good.
It has been a good Friday. I can't complain.
Good. Again, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. Of course, now it gets down to the 92.
92.
And of course, I had 91. How am I doing today?
Well, that's okay. It's still going to get there. It's just got to go back up.
I know. But when it gets there, I'm not going to like it. This is really annoying me today.
It's that blue band.
Well, I keep adjusting, and it keeps missing me out. So.
I know 92, 94, 95, they all had good areas in that 97 area.
And then I had 02 above, and did like the settlement price there for a bit, so I did okay on that one. But
I've got the settlement price written down, and there I am jumping in at that 01 and going, dummy.
yeah. Well, it can't be perfect, I guess. That's what you're trying to say?
Well, I didn't think it would make it to 02.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that I can understand.
So I said, one's not a bad area. If it hits 02, it's still going to go. It just, and just as soon as I say that, there it goes up to.
Right, you got your 02, feel like boom.
And then it's off and running.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, wait a minute, come back.
I thought I had this one right. All right, you can see we're sharing our mindsets here with you. So we are definitely traders like everybody else. We get in at the wrong time. We get out at the wrong time. But we're trying to help you out here at the end of the day. Hopefully you're kind of just being patient with us and waiting for areas to get filled instead of just jumping in. Very important to be patient and wait for opportunities, especially these days, because we're going to get them. And so that all that matters. And, you know, if you are a basketball fan, there's stuff to do this afternoon. So
Everybody and his brother must see that the one down there.
yeah, well,
Kind of like now when we get down below it, we might be below that blue band and it may take off to the wrong
that's the problem,
direction.
right, exactly. That's why I'm like concerned about my 92. Oh well, it's Friday.
Yep. They're gonna have to take that thing back to that 4,400 level or 4,475. If my chart's right.
44 on the upside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 74 there. So we, again, I talked about closing up there on the weekly. If we start doing that, then kind of a little bullish here. It depends where we close by next week. Well, to see where we close today. If we close above 44.
Technically, does it have to close above something to actually make it?
Technically, yes.
So on this 5-minute chart, technically that spike high is not really
Strong.
Yeah.
Right. We have to close above that spike. That's six. Correct. That's why that spike high is testable. So testing, you could go retest that one, and that one might be a good one to retest. Usually we don't like to test and lows, but that one is just sticking up there waiting for us to, somebody to say, come here and get me and try me, see if I'm real.
Yeah. Well, if the day goes like normal, we should retest it. But
Normal?
yeah, whatever that is.
Normal. That's funny. Can't believe you actually said that. Normal.
But I had the 95, the 91, and up there at the 16. I said, well, we're going to go tap some of these one way or the other.
Again, if anybody has any questions, good time to ask. We don't mind questions. When you have us both here, you can pick our brain for free. All right, the range bound, nice rotation there against, well, we talked 90, the 93 area there. It got right down to 92 and change and pop back up. So at least we're giving you those support areas. We said 92 3 to 95, got down to 92 and change, pop back up. If you trading with us and waiting for these opportunities, we're doing okay with them. Again, Don got in, I didn't. That's okay. We talked about the same areas, and he was able to jump in there, and I missed out. But it's okay. I kept telling you what I was doing, and it happens. That's all. But like I said earlier, everybody trades differently here. Just because I say something doesn't mean that everybody's going to do it. You have to understand your risk tolerance and act accordingly. All right. Well, we're hanging right around their settlement price, so it really could go either way here.
Did you ask Mark if he got lost in Disneyland?
I mean, the excuses he's given me. It's like he's taking his daughter to look at schools, and he's like getting sick at the prices he's going to have to pay for them. I'm like, welcome to the real world. He goes,
Yeah.
it's preschool. It's not even college. I go,
Preschool, man.
preschool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it, but it is ridiculous. I feel sorry for my kids, how they're gonna. It's just insane. It's insane. I don't know, man. I don't know. What can I tell you?
I go to the lumberyard and all I do is walk around and drag my jaw. He says, "You want what for that?"
I know, right? I mean, it's. I don't know how long this is going to sustain itself, but it's. On the bright side, Don, yesterday it never happened before. I was able to hold both my grandkids, not at the same time, but all on the same day. Never happened before. I saw them both yesterday.
What, did you see the dog too?
No. Let's not get carried. He's coming tomorrow. He's coming today. So,
okay.
he's coming. Yeah, that's what I should do. I should take a picture. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but take a picture with all my grandchildren next to me. Since he's the first.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. You're right. I should do that. I'm going to do that.
Did you get the baby boy a basketball yet?
Oh, for sure. He had it like of course. I'm going to get the girl too. Don't worry. I've coached a lot of girls basketball. Don't worry. It's going to happen. I'm going to get a girl too. That's for sure. Don't worry. I don't know how it's going to go. We just know it's going to go. So we'll see. But I'm going to get the girl one, and it'll be fine. I'm just happy about either one of them. As long as they're healthy and they're good, they're cute, they're laughing.
Amen.
And that's all that matters.
Yep.
All right.
You hear these parents say, all I wanted was 10 toes and 10 fingers. I'm happy. Yeah.
And believe me, you get the toes and 10 fingers, and God forbid something happens after that. So every day is like you're just happy. They're happy, and everybody's content. And I get to see them once in a while. And as long as I don't have to take care of them all the time, that's fine. I did my share of taking care of them.
You know, the nice thing about being a grandparent is you can go over and you can agitate them, then go home.
That's right. To get them all worked up, you
Yep.
know. And my daughter's like, "What's wrong? What? Stop doing that." I'm like, "What? He's liking it." So, yeah, I do understand. I do understand. It'll be fun. All right, Don. Let's see. What else can we give him here? Well, we had support down there. Right now, I think if we get below 90, we don't want to be long. On the downside. So anything below 90, you probably want to be out of any longs if we do get back down there. Upside next, I think we might retest that spike there at 16. I would say that is a possibility. But if you're more risk averse, you're going to look for the 23 area. And then we gave you the levels above. If you look at the chat, you'll find the levels that we gave on the upside there. If we get below 90 here, we'll go probably retest the 80, which is our pivot. And if we get below that, you have the levels underneath. We don't know which way the markets are going. It's Friday, and they seem to have sucked out a little bit of the volatility today, which is fine. I think it's been a very busy week with the, FOMC, raising rates, the war continues. Geopolitical situation continues to be uncertain, and who knows what's going to happen next. So if something does happen, obviously if they come up with some kind of ceasefire agreement or some kind of something, it just doesn't look like it though. Not the way Putin is handling the situation here. He just doesn't care. He just wants to destroy a country for whatever reason. So we'll see what happens. But it is Friday, and and then somebody mentioned it's not a triple witching, but they're going to be settling up on options today as well. So they're going to have to be mindful of that, especially towards the end of the day. That especially the last hour gets a little bit more crazier than usual. A lot of volatility is going to occur today in the last hour because of the triple. Well, that's not because of the settlements of the option expiration months. So see what happens there. So let's take one trade at a time. Keep your stops in place. Be a little patient. You see the markets moving around, but not always have to jump in. So patience is important. All right. Don, have a great weekend.
You too. See you next week.
Yeah, if you can just put the levels up there one more time for everybody.
I can.
And we'll go from there. All right. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to everybody on Monday.
Hey, a couple quick shout outs and programming notes. I sent out some information directly to you in chat. Make sure you check your chat feature. Hey, Christoph, looking for you. Hey, Karen, welcome aboard. Lucia. Hey, Ramon, I just sent you a follow-up on our discussion yesterday. Let me know if that fits into what you're looking to do. Just check the email you registered with. Hey, Ramon, are you connected? Just let me know back in chat. Looks like you're coming in twice, as if you're not hearing us. Just let me know back in chat. TradeAlongLive.com, TradeAlongLive.com. We're here between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 noon Eastern Time. Join us.